What does a person see before death? Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah, viewers. Since ancient times, the mysteries surrounding death have fascinated humans. People have an innate curiosity about what happens right before death. How does a dying person feel in their final moments? Do they witness glimpses of heaven, hell, paradise, or the afterlife? Such questions have puzzled minds for ages without clear answers. Yet, people continue to ponder what happens at the time of death. Does a person think of their loved ones, past joys, sorrows, or pains? Do they experience heavenly bliss or intense agony? Recently, some medical case studies have shed light on this mystery. Today, we will discuss this topic in detail based on the insights from the Quran, Hadith, and medical science, inshallah. When does a person become aware of their impending death? Dear viewers, everyone must journey from this worldly life to the next. Life ends and death comes to all. This is an eternal truth. As Allah, the Lord of the world, says, "Every soul shall taste death." Death is the point where worldly life and the afterlife meet. As death approaches, the dying person senses its arrival. Recently, a nurse named Nikki Morgan shared her lifetime experiences regarding what people say or do right before death. Having worked for many years at the Royal Stroke Hospital in Britain, Nikki witnessed the expressions and speech of people moments before death. According to her, many people realize their time is ending, sometimes months or even hours in advance. For example, one patient told her, "In a few days, I will turn 80, celebrate my birthday, and then leave this world." This actually happened. Nikki shared another story of an elderly couple where the husband asked for his wife to be by his side before his death. They held hands, and within 10 days, both passed away. What does medical science say? Dr. Christopher Kerr, a cardiologist and PhD in neurobiology, has extensively researched the dreams and visions of people nearing death. He has become one of the world's leading experts in this field. According to his research, people begin to experience unusual sensations a few weeks before death, and these sensations intensify as death approaches. What is the experience of Sakaratul Maut, agony of death? The agony of death, or Sakaratul Maut, is often painful and leaves visible marks on the face of the deceased, although in most cases, it is not apparent to others. As Allah mentions in the Quran, if you could see the wrongdoers when they are in the agonies of death, and the angels stretch forth their hands. According to scholars, the agony of death is not just physical, but also spiritual. Dr. Christopher Kerr adds that while we can often observe the physical decline of a person, we do not fully witness the mental and emotional struggles they endure. However, he emphasizes that many people maintain mental and spiritual clarity during this time. In some cases, the agony of death is not visible to others. The unavoidable pain of death. Just as death is inevitable, so too is the agony of death. The Allah states in the Quran, "The agony of death will certainly come. It is something you cannot escape." Every person experiences this pain, but its intensity varies. The Prophet Muhammad also experienced the agony of death. While resting against the shoulder of his wife Aisha, he performed a miswak, tooth cleaning, and said, "There is no deity but Allah. Indeed, death has severe pains." He raised his hands and said, "O Allah, with the highest companion." Soon after, he passed away. The great companion Umar once asked Ka'ab to describe death. Ka'ab compared it to a thorny tree being pulled through the body, painfully scraping through every vein. The agony of death feels like the flesh is being torn from the bones. Dr. Christopher's research shows that about 88% of people report experiencing some form of extraordinary sensation before death. This suggests that as death approaches, such experiences become more frequent. What does a person see before death? What a person sees right before death remains somewhat mysterious. According to some Islamic scholars, a dying person may see their loved ones. If they were righteous, this is a comforting sight. If not, it can be distressing. Scientific studies from British Columbia suggest that in the moments before death, past memories flash before the eyes, like a series of images. As discovered in a recent study at Vancouver General Hospital, brain activity related to memory continues even after the heart stops beating. The study, published in the journal Frontiers in Aging Neuroscience, found that specific brain waves were active in a patient during the final moments of life. These brainwaves, known as alpha and gamma waves, are linked to memory and consciousness. Researchers believe that the dying person recalls significant memories from their life. This suggests that the brain continues to and life events may flash before the eyes like a life review. Final moments and the afterlife. In Islam, it is believed that during the last moments of a believer's life, angels descend to comfort the dying person and bring them good news of paradise. As mentioned in the Quran, indeed, those who have said, "Our Lord is Allah," and remain steadfast, the angels will descend upon them, saying, "Do not fear and do not grieve, but receive good tidings of paradise, which you were promised." Some pious individuals have reported seeing angels or greeting them during their final moments. This aligns with the idea that, as death approaches, the veil between the worldly life and the afterlife becomes thinner, and some can perceive spiritual beings that are invisible to others. In conclusion, both Islamic teachings and recent medical findings suggest that in the final moments, people may experience memories, see loved ones, or sense angels. Whether it is a life review or spiritual visions, death is a deeply profound and mysterious transition. May Allah grant us an easy death, the ability to face death with faith, and entry into paradise. Ameen.